Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a little bit of a different video for you. These are the cards that I made, but instead of showing you how I made them, this video is about how I made the background for them. So if you're not interested in real-time blending, this video might not be for you. So these are the inks that I used. I love the Ranger Distress Oxide inks. They are just amazing to work with. So for my darker sky, I'll call that one the night sky, I'm using Chipped Sapphire, Dusty Concord, Seedless Preserves, and Picked Raspberry. And for the reddish orange sunset kind of background, I've got Candied Apple, Abandoned Coral, Spice Marmalade, and my darkest colour in that one is Seedless Preserves, which I also used in the other sky as well. So I'm using that one in both of them. So to do my blending, I always have a piece of paper under the card that I'm using. I could just wipe down my craft mat and get it all over that, but I just try to keep everything as dry as possible because these inks react very well to water, which is exactly what they're meant to do. So I just try to keep water away from these if I can. So yeah, I just start blending with these brushes. These are technically makeup brushes. I got all of them the same size. I bought them individually from Amazon Australia. They were about $8 each, and it kind of killed me to spend that much in one go, but they were well worth it. I saved for them, I bought them, and I thought, oh my gosh, I hope they are worth it, and they have been fantastic. I use them for all my backgrounds. They are great. I used to use the little foam blenders, but I just found, I don't know if I was just pushing too hard with them or what I was doing, but I was destroying them and going through them way too quick. So I switched to these ones and they have been amazing. They work really, really well. I hardly have to wash them. I think I've washed my blue one because it kind of felt a bit full of ink and it was just making my colours a bit funny. And then I think I accidentally mixed it with green, so that just was horrible. But they wash well and they dry well, and then they're good to use again. I have about 8 of them. I have one for every color family. I don't have one for like Picked Raspberry and Abandoned Coral. They're very similar colors, so I use the same brush for them. I just rub it on my paper between colors before I switch, and that seems to do the trick. Nothing gets too yucky and blended. They work really, really well. Okay, so as you can see, I started with the Picked Raspberry down the bottom, my lightest color on the bottom, and I'm moving on to my Chipped Sapphire at the top. These inks are very different. I find all the colors almost have like their own personality. The pink one works fantastic. My Chipped Sapphire is not quite temperamental, but it's just a bit difficult. If I want a solid color out of it, I can get it, but I do need to blend a lot. So I do recommend that you use a really thick cardstock or paper for these, because you're going to need to have something that can hold, I guess, a lot of, well, how would you put it? Liquid. It doesn't come out as a liquid, but it really has to be able to hold all that wet ink. Otherwise, if you use a really thin paper, it starts to get, you know how it balls up and gets a bit gross if you're rolling it in circles over and over again. All those little paper fibers tend to come out, which is not what you want. You want something that holds itself together really well. So this Chipped Sapphire, I only used a little bit at the top to keep it nice and dark. This Dusty Concord is totally different. It is like a smooth and creamy ink. It is amazing. It is one of my favorites to blend with because you don't need a lot on your brush and it just like pours out all over the place. And it's such a pretty color. So when I do these skies, I go back and forth over my inks, lots and lots, all over the colors. So as you can see, I'm totally covering that blue, and I'll go over it in a bit more Chipped Sapphire at the towards the end, and darken up those corners again. But this is just, yeah, easy peasy. Skies are amazing, and you can just get the most amazing backgrounds with these inks. They're fantastic. Another awesome thing about these inks is that they are very forgiving. So if you accidentally get a bit of the wrong color in a place where you really didn't want it to go, you can likely just blend it in. I've done that before in one of the other videos that I have on my channel. I did a very quick time lapse of a background that I did for a baby card, and I blended in one of the teal colors right into the orange, and I thought, oh gosh, it's gone. I've totally destroyed it, but I managed to save it and it was awesome. I was very, very lucky. Okay, so now I have moved on to Seedless Preserves. This is one of my favorite ink colors, I think, because it comes out just exactly as it does in the little ink pad. It is so bright and it is so beautiful, and it blends really, really well. So my backgrounds here, when you look at them from on top, I notice that they actually look kind of blotchy. I don't think that really matters, because once I'm done with spraying water over them and putting on some sparkly stuff, you can't even really see that they're very blotchy. So That's nothing to worry about. The only time I worry about that is if I'm getting bits of white come through. I have had a few people message me asking how I get such a bold color. And I think you just got to keep blending, keep adding ink, keep piling it on. That's why it's so important to have a good thick piece of cardstock. I have been asked how to get colors lighter, and I think the only answer to that would be use a lighter ink. You can't go using one of these inks and hoping to just get like a light coverage of it. You're going to get the color that's in the ink pad. If you want like a really light pink, I would suggest something like Spun Sugar, because it's a really, really pale pink and you can still get it really solid and not blotchy, but it will stay really light. I know that may sound like a pretty straightforward thing, but I totally get where people are coming from, especially if when you start blending with these colors and they're nice and pale on your piece of paper, but you don't want them to be blotchy, and then you keep going and you build up this incredibly bold color. Okay, so you can see with these inks I'm going well over the little borders where they touch, they're kind of blending into each other, and then I'm going to start going back and forth with the lighter and darker colors so that they really blend in that spot. Again, this is why you need a nice thick cardstock. Those parts in particular are going to have a lot of ink on them, because you're just going to keep piling it up until it looks like a nice smooth blend. I am really impressed with these inks and how you can blend like a blue and an orange together without getting like a funky weird mix in between or like a blotchy mess. They blend really, really well, and even with colors that wouldn't typically go together, they have a wonderful little ombre kind of gradient to the other color. It's really amazing. They are just really, really good to use. As you can see now, I was just blending with my Dusty Concord colour again, bridging that gap between the Chip Sapphire and the Seedless Preserves. It's looking much more smooth now. I really love these colours. This is one of my favourite colour combinations for night skies. I think it looks amazing, especially once you do get the water on it. I am just going to speed this up a little bit while I finish this one, and then I'm going to move on to the next one. Okay, now that that's done, I'm going to put that to the side. I'm not going to play with it just yet and do all that exciting stuff with the water. I'm going to wait until both of my pieces are finished. So once again, I've got another piece of plain white cardstock, and I'm going to start with the lightest color at the bottom, the darkest color on the top, and then blending them together. I will speed this one up just a little bit because it's going to be the exact same process as the last one. And as much as I love watching all this ink blending, I don't want this video to get boring. So I will talk to you on the other side of this blend. So now that that is all done, it is looking very good, and here are my two different skies side by side. As you can see, that Seedless Preserves is in both of them, but used in very different ways. Now is the fun part. This is always my favourite part, and here comes my favourite Farrell Paintbrush, the one I stole from my toddler. He's used it lots and lots, and he's kind of mashed it, and all the little bristles on it poke out in all directions, and I just find that it works really well for spattering water droplets all over the paper, and it gives a varying size of water drops. Sometimes they're big water drops and little water drops, and it works really well for backgrounds like night skies and for galaxy backgrounds when you just want not like even spray where you want big bits and little bits all over the place. Okie dokie. So now I am letting that sink in a little bit, and you can literally watch it changing. You can see all of the ink lifting in those areas where the water has hit it. It's getting lighter in those spots, but to make it even brighter, I've grabbed a paper towel and I will dab at it just a little bit. Now, I made a huge mistake in this. I actually wiped up a bit of water off my mat first, and then I dabbed my paper, and as you can see kind of in the middle, you'll probably be able to see it on a bigger screen, I have like this crinkly little spot in the middle of both pieces of paper where it was really damp. Don't do that. Like I said at the very beginning, you want to keep the water away from these unless you need it, and I'm glad in the final product you can't really see it. Everything else is a bit more of a distraction. I am now using one of my other favourite products by Lawn Fawn. This is the liquid Stardust. I use it straight out of the bottle. I put a little bit onto my craft mat and use my paintbrush to pick it up and flick it over the whole thing, just like I am with the water. It is a bit of an expensive way to use this stuff. This stuff isn't cheap, at least it isn't here, and you can water it down and make it last a lot longer and get like a nice pale sparkle, but I really like it when it's got big silvery chunks and it just looks really pretty, like stars glowing in the sky. So that's what I've done there, and as you can see, my background's turned out really nice for this one. Thank you for joining me for another video. I hope you love it. Check out my blog for many more projects that I've done, and I'm working on a whole bunch of exciting stuff soon, so make sure you subscribe so you can join me for that too. Thank you for watching. Bye.